the Desert Tiger Podcast.
Awesome. How's it going, Cassie?
Good, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Having a great day so far.
Awesome, me too.
Ooh, I'm always glad to hear that. Always happy to hear that. I'm probably very excited with a new single on the horizon here.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, it's been such a long time coming, so
All right. Yes.
finally.
You definitely took a little bit of time there in between, but we're going to dive into that here today.
No. Yes,
You ready to jump on into it?
I'm ready to swan dive.
All right, fantastic. So, of course, to get to this point, you have to start somewhere. So let's dive into that moment that you decided that music was the thing that you wanted to pursue.
I don't know if it was if it was a particular moment, but there was just always music in our house, and I always wanted to be like my older siblings who were taking piano lessons, so I started that, and I was a pretty shy kid, so I don't think it was till like some talent shows where my sister wouldn't let me do a dance with her, so I just went and played the piano and sang, where people are like, hey, you actually sound good, that I realized could be something for me. And then once I started writing songs, it was just, that's endgame. I just loved it so much. I fell in love with writing, and yep, here we are.
Awesome. So at what age was this at then?
When I started writing, well, when I was pretty young, I would write poems in this little like pink fuzzy diary, just about like parents divorcing, boys who didn't like me, like whatever. So pretty young, I would say. And then seriously was writing songs when I like really started getting my heart broken in high school. And then I started playing those songs for people at like open mics and coffee houses and, kind of shedding that wall. So about high school is when I started doing it more seriously, I would say.
Okay. So you mentioned you spent some time playing inside of coffee houses. So how do you progress out of those coffee houses into a studio?
Well, when I finished high school, I moved out west, and I actually went to recording school. I'd been doing some shows back at home. Like I started in folk music, and we have a really big folk community here where I'm from. So I started kind of doing that and didn't really record anything until once I was actually in recording school. Those were when I did my like first real demos for just like projects for school. And then from there just started working with friends from school and just collaborating with all sorts of people and doing writing camps, and yeah, it just all snowballed from there.
Okay. And then from there it's all out of control and
Not really. Like the slowest snowball roll ever, but
either way.
every step's important, so no time was wasted.
And you also definitely have to enjoy the process. That's something that a lot of people don't take the time to do, is smell the roses. So that's one thing about taking time with the steps, is sometimes it also allows you to actually soak in everything that's happening.
I agree. And for me, like I write from such a personal place that I can't just be go about it. It has to really just come when I'm inspired. So definitely taking my time to grow as a writer has been really important, and especially through these new songs that I'm putting out, I think that really shows that I've taken that time to really dig uncomfortably, really, but yeah.
Well, that's part of being an artist sometimes, right? We're going through some of our toughest emotions, and we're finding a way to cope and sort of give our own way of therapy of going through some of these things.
Oh, absolutely. It's the only therapy I can afford. So it's how I deal with everything. I'm like, I don't understand why more people don't just like write their feelings down. I'm confused. It's really, really cathartic for me to write. Even if it doesn't end up going into a song, just writing things down is so important for me, or else I think my brain would be a big mess.
Fair for sure. So of course, that first song releasing it, because songs, they're sort of like, children to us. We spend so
they're
much
little
time
babies.
crafting these little babies, and
Yeah.
we want them to be so well. So what was it like to finally take that little package and show it off to the world, finally, to release that first song?
Well, I've been writing songs for so long, but that was definitely when people actually were like, oh, she's seriously doing this now. Like, oh, she's not just like telling us to come to some random bar show where there's like 5 people. Okay, like she's actually putting out music. So that was a transition for me in, I guess, outward perception, but I didn't feel differently about being an artist. I think it was just more people going, oh, okay. Like, oh, okay, Cassie's actually doing it. Okay, I see. So, but for me, it had just been so long that it's like inherent within me that it's just what I'm doing,
Awesome. All right. So I definitely want to jump into some of the singles here before you end up taking a break. So your last single here in 2019, before a little bit of a some time here, is Still in Love. So take us a little bit behind that last single before a break, Still in Love, probably based off the lyrics, dealing with some old relationships.
Yeah, that one's about kind of regret over the end of a relationship. It's actually kind of funny because it's like it was kind of the end of my label relationship. Like I wrote that song while I was still signed and recorded at that same time too, but actually ended up releasing it independently once I'd been dropped. So it was kind of like an end of a sound era for me too. Like I did that song, all 3 songs, Welcome to My Castle, Rough Cut, and Still in Love with Mike Wise. And then I just knew I wanted to shift. But that song, I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs I've written, just because when we wrote it, it was completely acoustic and really organic, and we like really dug into the lyrics. Obviously, it turned out as a pop track, but it didn't start that way. So it's pretty special to me just in how we wrote it and the feeling that day. I wrote it at a little song camp with some friends, and yeah, it was a nice song to write. But end of a chapter, I would say, in many ways.
And as you mentioned, dropped by a label, but Still in Love ended up performing stronger than both the singles that they released for you. So, their loss.
I'm not going to say anything about it, but yeah, we're not sad about how that ended up turning out.
It's always about, no matter what happens, you always got to do what's best for you afterwards and just, fly from there.
And that's I think what I did. I mean, I know it's been a bit of a stretch here, the break, but I definitely needed it just to develop myself a bit further before putting out this next batch of stuff. So
Okay. So let's dive into that. You take some time to craft this new music, some time in between. You said that you were sort of changing some sounds, sort of ending a chapter. So what is the new energy that you're trying to capture that you were honing over this last 2 years?
I think the biggest thing for me with these new songs is I didn't go into it with like, it needs to sound like this. These are the people I want to sound like, and this is what I want to model it after. It was really just taking some songs that felt really personal, getting really uncomfortable with the lyrics, being really honest with the lyrics, because that's what I like to hear. And I really just went, look, I want to make songs that I would want to listen to and that I could feel like I could relate to if I, wasn't me and didn't have that same story. And I feel like when you get really specific with your lyrics, it allows people to put themselves in your shoes and pick out little things that they can relate to. So I think I didn't want to paint with such a broad stroke this time around. I wanted it to be really, really authentically me. And yeah, anytime we got weird with production, I was like, let's get weirder. Let's just try different things. I'd rather people hate it than think it's okay. So yeah, I just really try to just have fun with it and enjoy the process of making it. I think that shows with it too. So
definitely. You can definitely see how much fun you had in the artwork for the single and in hearing the single as well. So before we dive into the musical content, I want to dive into this photo shoot for Unsolicited Contact, your new single, because my God, it's bright, but yet like at the same time, like very creepy and just like, it's just this whole like, it's wonderful.
Well, like the art's obviously tied into the song, but basically when we finished writing that song, we were recording it, we just instantly were like, okay, this is what the video needs to look like, and that was, at least a year and a half before we even shot the video when we were recording it. So I just had a really, really clear vision. I love like anything pastel. I don't know if the reference of like that Black Mirror episode where everything is like all pastel-y and they're on their phones. Anyway, so I love that imagery, and I love like the sweetness of it, yet the song is like super cutting. I think it's a fun, like, my one friend called it lethally blonde, which I thought was hilarious. I love like kind of going there and getting a little crazy with it, but still keeping those like really soft color schemes. The juxtaposition is nice. It's a nice sweet spot there, I think.
All right. Awesome. So one thing that I see from the production and other details from this track is it looks like you took a shift in trying to work with a lot more feminine energy with these new tracks in this new album. So what has that helped to unlock?
It's crazy because, as I said, I went to recording school, and when I was in recording school, I was one of 5 females in the school at the time. Not just in my program, like the school. So it really, I didn't really have an idea into what the music industry looked like, but that was definitely like kind of a rude awakening, especially in the audio side. So going forward, basically all the people I was collaborating with and writing with were men, and it was, just like happenstance of who I knew, but I wanted to expand my horizons because I felt like I was limiting my perspective. And I felt at times too, when I was writing and recording, that, maybe people couldn't see things from where I was seeing them just because of that gender gap and, the difference in the industry. So I just, as soon as I moved on from the label, I just sought out as many female collaborators as I could. And I ended up working for this EP, Hill Kirkutas out of Toronto, and Robin Delunto, who's actually Canadian, but she's a Nashville transplant. But yeah, so the two of them. And it was a different vibe for sure. And I just felt like I could be more myself, especially with these songs that are a bit more vulnerable for me. That's not to say that there are male writers involved in the EP, but from a production standpoint, I just felt it really important to kind of go all the way there and work with some really talented women because I hadn't yet, and I wanted to.
Well, I'm glad you were able to take that opportunity and that step, and that you were able to have someone to understand a little bit more of the energy that you were trying to capture.
Yeah, that big time girl boss energy. That's what I'm trying to capture, for sure.
Text me on my birthday, not to wish me happy birthday, just to tell me about the other girl that you're in love with now. Yeah, I think her name is Megan. Well, I know her name is Megan, cause your mom posted that photo. I'll pretend I just found out. Say you're sorry for the heavy text. Yeah, what the hell did you forget? We haven't talked since back in May, back when your uncle passed away. You wanna make me jealous? Sorry, I'm not overzealous. I'm just blowing out my candles. I can't handle you just trying to pull me back in, back in, back in. Are you trying to pull me back in, back in, back in? It's unsolicited contact. Now you're bringing up the past, like we didn't end this shit 4 years ago. I don't need you, I don't need any of your unsolicited contact. Little late to want me back. What you doing, what you come here looking for? I don't want you, I don't want any of your unsolicited. I don't understand it, like the universe just planned it. Wonder why my name popped in your head and why you thought to go ahead say I'm writing my reply, cause I'm just so confused. I don't know what you're trying to do. Are you trying to pull me back in, back in, back in? Are you trying to pull me back in, back in, back in? It's unsolicited contact. Now you're bringing up the past, like we didn't end the shit 4 years ago. I don't need you, I don't need any of your unsolicited contact. Little late to want me back. What you doing, what you come here looking for? I don't want you, I don't want any of your unsolicited. Blow my candles, make a wish, yeah. Guess what, I didn't ask for this. Why you coming back around? Why you thinking about me now? Blow my candles, put them out. No one for me to worry about getting all left in my head. And it's unsolicited contact. Now you're bringing up the past, like we didn't know this shit 4 years ago. I don't need you, I don't need any of your unsolicited contact. Little late to want me back. What you doing, what you come here looking for? I don't want you, I don't want any of your unsolicited contact. I don't listen, I don't want that. Unsolicited contact. I don't need, I don't want that. It's unsolicited.
For sure, for sure. All right, so we talked about the artwork to this new single. We talked about the energy that is going into it. So now it's time to dive into Unsolicited Contact. Tell us a little bit about this new track.
Yeah, so this song, I wrote it actually on my birthday not on my birthday, but based on my birthday a couple years back. I was about to blow out my candles and I got a text on my phone and I looked and it was my ex-boyfriend who I hadn't spoken to in quite some time. And I was like, you know what, actually that's kind of nice. I guess we're mature now. He's wishing me happy birthday. But I was so wrong because he completely forgot it was my birthday. And he was actually texting me to tell me to bring up he was like dredging up some stuff from the past, but also like bringing up the new girl he was seeing. So, yeah, I was just like, what is going on? I immediately screenshotted, of course, and sent it to my closest friends and was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Clearly, he forgot it's my birthday. Like, it's one thing for that to happen, but let alone on your birthday. So, yeah, that was a real... that was a real moment. Yeah, and then a couple days later, I was just out for a walk and started kind of singing some lyrics. And then I went to do a session with Hill. We were just going to write a song. And I just started talking about what had happened and what's going on in my life. And I was like, okay, get this. Listen to this story. Can you believe this? Like, why would he do that? And then the song just poured out from there. The song is just basically me asking him, like, what are you doing? And what is this about? And why today of all days?
Why?
Yeah, pretty wild. But yeah, so that's going to be a little uncomfortable when he hears it because I really spared no details.
Well, I mean, if he's going to message you on your birthday, even if he doesn't know that it's your birthday, to message you about things that have happened in the past and his new girl, he maybe deserves whatever's coming his way.
I don't wish him any bad things, but let's just say that's not a text I wanted to get on my birthday.
Not a good way to celebrate.
Maybe talk to your friends or something. I don't know.
Not a good way to celebrate at all. It's
No, not really.
Also, I understand the artwork a lot more now.
Yeah, is it all clicking now?
The happy birthday vibe.
Yeah, everything's birthday themed. For the video too, we just really dove into like, what would this like perfect birthday be that all of a sudden turns into a fit of rage. So that was really fun. It was a lot of fun to do.
Oh my, so I'm excited to see this video now too then.
Yeah, so the video actually, the artwork was shot at in the video shoot. We did that like right before we started shooting because eventually the set was destroyed. So we did the photos first. Yeah.
Smart plan.
Yeah,
for
there's
sure.
a lot of cake smashing. There's a lot of there's smashing a pinata, just going wild. Just got to ruin my own birthday party. Basically all the things I wanted to do, but couldn't do in real life.
Just held on to it for a few years and then finally.
Let it build.
Finally let it out.
Yeah, let it build. So, yeah. So me holding the knife in that picture, I actually fully stabbed the cake and stuff in the video. It was really fun.
Nice. Well, I can't wait to see this for myself then.
Yeah, it's actually out same day as the song, so it'll be out.
Oh, so same day as this interview. Then fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So then the ambush should go and watch it right after they're done watching this.
Yes. It's premiering actually on Aesthetic magazine until what will be tomorrow, the 23rd, and then it'll be live on my YouTube channel. So.
Okay. Well, when I have the opportunity to, I'll throw the links down in the description and all that fun stuff.
Amazing. Thanks.
Awesome. And of course, this is the first single from an upcoming project. So is this an EP that you have coming up, or what does the future hold?
It's an EP. Pretty much done right now. I'm just finishing up another song. But yeah, it's going to be 6 songs, and they're kind of somewhat in this vein, a little different. Some are a little more glittery pop leaning, but all super, super truthful and really lyric based. So if you like, nitty gritty lyrics, I went there.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's where all the best energy is put out, right? Those are the songs that really help people through difficult moments. And I mean, writing these songs helped you through some moments. So who knows who's going to be able to use some of these tracks to
definitely
get through their own bad birthdays or whatever happens to come their way.
Yeah, their ex texted them out of the blue. Now they have an anthem.
Exactly.
Kind of go with that.
Just right away, straight to Spotify. I need a good mood. Okay, so from this EP, we're talking about the future and everything else. So is there any other music videos or any other singles that we should be anticipating in our near future?
Yep, there's going to be a couple more singles coming out throughout the year, and then the EP will be out in the summer. So, are you losing me here still?
Yep.
Are you good?
We're good.
Okay. A couple more singles, some more videos. I actually shot the Unsolicited Contact video in Toronto, but the other videos I shot in my hometown and kind of around my hometown. So that's kind of a fun little thing. Definitely we went down some back roads and on the streets that I used to walk down or drive around with my friends, crying to Taylor Swift. So yeah, it was pretty cool to do that. We were obviously limited this past year with what we could do. So I'm just glad that I could. And we made some lemonade out of the lemons, I think.
Awesome. Well, that's always a good thing to be able to adapt and come out on top.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see if people like it.
Yes, I'm pretty sure they will. I've got a pretty good vibe.
At the very least, I do. I like it. So that was the most important thing for me. I was like, you know what? If I like it, then who cares? Not everyone's gonna like everything you make. So most important is that I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So before I ask my last question, where can the listeners, the ambush, find out more about Cassie Dasilva?
Anywhere online. I'm on all the social medias, of course. My website's cassiedasilva.com, and obviously I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I'm trying to be a TikToker. Oh my gosh, I can't do any of the dances or anything. But yeah, and you can find any of my music on whatever streaming platform you use. It's there, and YouTube as well.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right. So last question. So over the last 2 years here of releasing music, how has this journey, helped you grow, or what has it helped you learn about yourself?
Oh, that's a tough question. Well, I've learned that I definitely am not a quitter because I think the getting dropped from my label was like one of the most devastating breakups of my life, but I just kind of powered through, and I don't even think people knew that it was so hard because I was just like on a plane writing, go, go, go. I just was like, I can't stop now. I am not a quitter. So when I set my mind to something, there's no telling what I'm going to do. So exes, look out, because I will write a song about you for my own benefit.
Anyone who comes in the future, come prepared knowing that if you make a mistake.
Gonna write about it. No, I'm just kidding. I truly have no bad feelings because look what I got out of it. Bunch of songs. Very true.
Exactly. You learned, you grew, you found out what you didn't want in the future. So
that's true. Yeah, I definitely found out that, who you're collaborating with is like super important too, and the energy you surround yourself with, and I'm really, really trying to learn to enjoy the journey. I think it's so hard for people to stay present, especially when like we're just judging ourselves based off like numbers and figures all the time. I learned that it really can't be about that end result. It can't be about the finish line. So I'm just trying to enjoy all these little things like this right now, getting to talk to people about music and, getting to do all of the behind the scenes grunt work. Doesn't really feel like work if you enjoy it. So I'm just trying to keep that frame of mind, especially this year. What a year.
It's definitely has been quite the year, and it's always good to keep a positive mindset through it all.
Yeah, trying. It's not always that way. I gotta keep it real. It's not always that way, but just gotta remind myself and all of ourselves, I guess, to be, to realize what we have.
Exactly.
Yep.
Life has its ups and downs, and we need our downs so that we can truly appreciate the ups.
This is so true. You know what? One of the favorite analogies I've ever made is that I once bought like just the pink Starburst, and I was like, you know what? It's not as good. You need the yellow and orange to appreciate the pink and red.
Very true.
You need them.
Very true.
You do. Need the downs.
Exactly. Well, Cassie, thank you so much for taking the time to join me here today.
Let me talk about my exes and Starburst.
I believe in talking, something's on my mind. Yeah, it seems like lately that's where you're spending your time. I've been trying to fight it and rearrange my thoughts. All I want is silence, but I can't turn you off. These feelings won't let up, no, not even for a minute. I'm still in love, I'm still in love. Nothing left to say, so I guess I should admit it. I'm still in love, and I'm still stuck on you. You with nothing to say in the middle of the night when I'm laying wide awake. Yeah, I know it's my fault, it all fell apart. Now I'm choking on my regrets and spitting out my heart. These feelings won't let up, no, not even for a minute. I'm still in love, I'm still in love. Nothing left to say, so I guess I should admit it. I'm still in love, and I'm still stuck on you. took me so long. These feelings won't let up, no, not even for a minute. I'm still in love and I'm still stuck on you.
The Desert Tiger Podcast.